How did the person who got me fired end up saving my career? I'd worked at Greenfield Marketing for 3 years when Derek Lawson joined as the new creative director. From day one, he made my life hell. He criticized every campaign I created, called my ideas outdated in front of the entire team, and CC'd upper management on emails pointing out my smallest mistakes. I thought maybe he was just a tough boss, pushing me to be better. But then I noticed he only targeted me. Everyone else got praise and promotions while I got humiliation. When I confronted him privately, asking what I'd done to deserve this treatment, he smiled and said I reminded him of someone he used to know. Someone who took everything from him. I had no idea what he meant. 3 months later, he fabricated evidence that I'd been stealing client accounts and selling them to competitors. I was escorted out of the building by security with a cardboard box of my belongings while my co-workers watched in silence. I spent 6 months unemployed. Every interview I landed fell apart when they called Greenfield for a reference. Derek had blacklisted me in the entire industry. I burned through my savings, moved back in with my parents at 29, and started applying to retail jobs just to survive. My girlfriend left me because she said I'd become a different person. She wasn't wrong. I stopped showering regularly. I stayed up until 4 a.m. doom-scrolling job boards. I lost 15 pounds because eating felt pointless. My mom found me crying in my childhood bedroom one night, and the look on her face broke something inside me. That's when I decided to start over completely. I enrolled in a web development boot camp, figuring tech was far enough from marketing that Derek's shadow couldn't reach me. I was wrong about that too. 8 months into my coding career at a small startup, I walked into a conference room for a client pitch and saw Derek sitting at the head of the table. He was the VP of marketing at our biggest potential account. His eyes lit up when he recognized me. I watched him whisper something to his colleague, who immediately frowned in my direction. I knew what was coming. After the meeting, my boss pulled me aside and said the client had concerns about my professionalism. They'd heard rumors about my time at Greenfield. I was being removed from the project, but this time, something in me snapped. I wasn't the broken person who'd shuffled out of that office with a cardboard box anymore. I'd rebuilt myself from nothing. I deserved to know why this man had destroyed my life. I found Derek in the parking garage after the meeting. I demanded answers. At first, he laughed and called me pathetic. But when I pulled out my phone and told him I'd been recording our entire conversation at Greenfield before he fired me, his face went pale. I was bluffing. I had nothing, but he didn't know that. His voice cracked as he finally told me the truth. 20 years ago, his older brother had been the rising star at an advertising firm. My father had been his colleague. According to Derek, my dad sabotaged his brother's biggest campaign, got him fired, and destroyed his career so badly that his brother took his own life 3 years later. Derek had spent his entire adult life waiting to make a loss in pay. When he saw my last name on the Greenfield roster, he finally had his chance. I stood there frozen as he showed me old photos on his phone. His brother looked exactly like me. I drove straight to my parents' house and confronted my father. He broke down immediately. He admitted everything. He'd been jealous of Derek's brother, had stolen his ideas, had lied to get him fired. He'd carried the guilt for 2 decades but never told anyone. My mother didn't know. I didn't know. For 24 hours, I hated my father more than I'd ever hated Derek. But then Derek called me. His voice was different, quiet. He said destroying my career hadn't brought his brother back. It hadn't made the pain stop. He'd spent 15 years becoming the exact monster who'd ruined his family, and now he couldn't sleep at night. He asked if we could meet, not to fight, just to talk. I almost hung up, but something in his voice reminded me of my own voice during those 6 months of unemployment. The voice of someone completely lost. Derek and I met at a coffee shop the next morning. We talked for 4 hours. He told me about his brother, about the years of therapy, about how revenge had consumed everything good in his life. I told him about the depression, the isolation, the moment I'd considered not waking up anymore. By the end, we were both crying in a crowded Starbucks like idiots. Derek made calls that week. He retracted every lie he'd told about me, personally called every company that had rejected me, and wrote a letter to Greenfield admitting what he'd done. He also connected me with his network in tech marketing. Last month, I got promoted to lead developer at a company 3 times the size of my old startup. Derek and I grab lunch every few weeks now. We don't talk about the past anymore. We talk about moving forward. He's the closest thing I have to a best friend.